Welcome to the channel. My name is Alan, and man, what you are looking at right here, I am standing on a motor that we were supposed to initially put in the car. We initially built this motor, we tried to work with it, but it was mixing water and coolant. I did take it to the shop. They did some testing and I was told that everything looks about all right. So I trust them and I am going to build this and put it in the car. One thing very special about this motor is that it is built to withstand over 1000 horsepower. So I am going to do everything right to make sure this motor doesn't come out again. And by the end of this episode, I am also hoping to dyno. We are going to the dyno and see how much power we are going to get with this block. And when I'm talking about the dyno, I'm not just talking about the dyno, we are going to dyno tune it. So that's the goal by the end of this episode. I don't know how many days I'm gonna run throughout this, but I want to put everything in one video because I already gone through many things showing you this and that. But I am going to point out things that I am going to do a little bit different in this episode. So you are in a good treat. Let's get to work. The very first thing I am going to do right now is to disassemble this one because since I took it back from the shop where they were running some diagnostics, I have not touched it or anything. It was just sitting on the bench and now it is time to work on that. So I will remove this head because I am not going to use this head. This head is already damaged. The chain tensioner leaks, so I don't have time to fix these threads. There is no particular order, it's just that on this episode it's really a crunch to get this motor built. So it's a long road ahead. Let me get started. Okay. Alright, so I took care of the top, looks really clean. Now I am about to tackle the back, this side over here. And what I want to do here is to remove the RTV. And what I used is this one. It's called 3M adhesive remover. I sprayed, you wait for a couple of minutes, and then you just take the cloth, you wipe off. That's basically what I did to clean up the top. Here is not really a big deal because we're going to use RTV anyway, and RTV seals really well. So that's a good sign. So let me give you a quick rundown what's going on here. I was trying to remove pretty much all the cluster in front so that I can remove the motor from the top. Previously, the way I've worked, I've just disassembled everything and then pulled the motor out. But I was trying to do something a little bit different, but unfortunately that just went wrong. And as I was struggling to take out everything, I also broke a few things. So the motor you've seen, we cleaned the motor, everything is ready, but not yet rebuilt, because later on I will show you the rebuild process. We used new forged piston and new connecting rods and every other good stuff. But here I was trying to remove the motor so that we can take out everything that we need so we can transfer it on the other block.
block that we are going to rebuild. I spent quite a few moments here and that didn't happen. And I got so frustrated, I stopped everything and I moved on to doing the traditional way I've done it, which is much easier, much faster, although we have to disassemble everything, but it makes life easier. Moving on, I'm taking care of a few housekeeping stuff. If you are not familiar, I'm using a custom exhaust muffler, and that exhaust does have electrical valves which opens and closes with a remote, but I want to connect it to OEM functionality, but also keeping the remote control one. So this is the wiring I am working on, and let's see how this one goes.
Well, you know how this thing goes, right? You start small and you start going bigger, and you end up removing the bumper, which I really don't want. Putting back this bumper is a hassle. I don't want to get to that route, but I will end up taking out this bumper so that I can route the cable. But then I need to get power from here, from inside. This fuse right here, that is where I am going to draw the power, because this thing will only come on when the engine is turned on. So because of that, I need to find a way to fish the wires through the chassis. This hole over here, I thought I would get lucky, but this one leads to nowhere, and there is no other place on this side. So I'm at the mercy of taking out the bumper, because these holes, if I can get access to this hole and probably just drill through the bumper, right? Drill through this one and pass the wire, and I'll be good. But I'm still thinking what I can do. All right, I found a good candidate. It's right over here. So I removed whatever that was here, and I saw a hole right there. That hole, that's the one I'm going to use. Very convenient. It's situated exactly where I would want it to be. So let's keep going. All right, that part of the exhaust is done. Now let's go back to rebuilding the engine. The pistons took a while to come. Reached out to the same place where I initially got the first set. They didn't have the set with the same weight as what I had, so I had to source to a different place which they had. And I am pretty sure you can see yourself that we are now using the best of the best pistons. These are coated pistons, and I don't know if anyone have ever used coated piston on N20, and here you have them. These are coated pistons, and I'm very happy to have upgraded to forged piston and coated at the same time, so we can push this engine to however horsepower we want. All right, I've got everything that I need. I'm very happy that everything arrived on time. It is now time to start assembling this block. It's gonna be a very long process, so let's get to it. All right, as we assemble this motor, we got a new set of pistons. You can see that we have this set of connecting rods. One thing you need to know about these connecting rods in particular, I had to notch the block because the diameter is it's a little bit bigger compared to OEM one and compared to every other ones. But this one is thicker, so I have to notch it to create a clearance. So I did that long time ago. It's a long process. I don't wanna go to it. But anyways, I got that sorted out. Now everything is flowing freely. And I also noticed the crankshaft that came with this block has thinner diameter compared to the other crankshaft. And I tried to use the other crankshaft. I didn't like the clearance. It was too tight. I needed smaller bearings, and that's just too much of me thinking. So I decided to keep this bearing and go with a thicker oil, but more on that later in this episode. So I went ahead and rebuilt the motor. I do everything myself.
There is no one that comes here except my friend Eni in PA that comes when he has time to help me out with every other work that I do here. So big shout out to him. I have a link in the description where you can subscribe to his channel as well. And big thank to our sponsors like Unique Clutch, Improve Racing, Dodge Engineering for sponsoring this build.
The engine is about to go in, and it took a while, but it is what it is because it's winter. Pretty much most of the days I didn't want to work when it's really cold. I mean, it's still cold, but I have my heater, which is helping, like the space heater, which I can bring outside and put it near me. So that's helping. And I've got pretty much everything set right now. I don't think there is anything that I do want to follow up again. But yeah, let's push this in and get this engine on.
I put the engine back into the car, bolt everything went okay. And I came across with another hiccup is using the turbo, because I now decided to upgrade to another turbo. I was using the other turbo, which is the max speeding turbo. It works great. I didn't have really an issue with that, but the problem I have with that one is the mounting. The mounting is just awful. It's just not easy to service the car using that mounting. So I had to use a different one, and I went with the G25 550. I could have gone with G25 660, but I decided to go with 550.
All right, I've got everything set. The liquid are there. We've got the coolant. Now I'm about to put the oil and then crank the car. Let's do this. So for the oil, I am going to start with the conventional oil, and the camera is about to die. And the camera decided to die just the time where I'm about to start the car. Oh boy, okay. All right, let's crank the car. Oh, what's going on? The clutch is off. The clutch is off. Okay. All right. Let's go check for any leak. All right, so I'm not checking if there is any leak because I ran. All right, here we go. Let's start the car. All right, here we go. Okay, it's idling really bad, and oh man, the fuel, the fuel. Oh, the fuel. Shoot. Ah, shoot. Oh, I've got fuel everywhere. Oh! This again. Ah! This was a very rookie mistake and very stupid. The low pressure fuel, the low pressure pump line, the low pressure line was not properly connected. And I wonder why. Before I started this car, I literally put my hand behind and I thought it was snagged in, but it wasn't. So that's what caused the fuel just dumping everywhere. And right now, yeah, so the car just ran without fuel. I don't know how it's even started, but let me fix that. All right, I'm going to start it. Attempt number 2. All right, folks, I didn't want to let you guys stranded because it's been a while since I provided a proper update video on what's happening. From the last time where I said that we blew out the engine, this episode you just watched, this is the one where I picked up, removed the engine, rebuilt it, and this is where we are now. So here is what's happening. The car right now has been fully rebuilt. I drove around the block. I was very happy with it, but it happened that I am still having the problem with the turbo. The turbo manifold is not great. I have to do a proper turbo manifold. By the time you are watching this one, the car is at the shop, so I will do my best to go to the shop, get maybe a 3 or 5 minute video, so I will give you an update what's going on to the with the build. But I'm very happy that right now I put on the CSS block, I put on the FCP Euro all pan baffle, which I'm very happy with that. I'm the very first one to buy that and to put it on the engine. I wanted to provide you some feedback on this video as well, but unfortunately I can't do that. But anyways, the other thing that I came across with, the car was just hesitating to start. It will start a little bit and then it will stop. It started a little bit, it will stop. That, remember I mentioned about the oil that I supposed to use. I said that I needed a thicker oil, but I was using a 5W30, which is not ideal. I need the 5W40, but also for the braking, I was supposed to use 10W40, but I used the 5W30. I have no idea why I did that rookie mistake. But anyways, after changing the oil to 10W40, everything became stable. The car is happy. I'm having better oil pressure. Everything is really good. The car is at the shop. We are redoing the manifold. I don't really care how I get it. I don't mind about the efficiency, whether I get it efficient or not. I just want this car back on the road. And we've got an event coming up. And with that event, I want to show you something. So, ooh, what's going on? Oh, hang on. Ooh. On March 1st, we have an event, a racing event coming up, and we are very, very happy to be partnering with our sponsor. Most importantly, Unique Clutch. We've partnered with Unique Clutch and we are going to upgrade our clutch with the Unique Clutch system. So stay tuned on that. There is an episode that coming for a field build, full reveal of our partnership with Unique Clutch. And this is the biggest partnership we've come into contact. So I would say that I will be representing Uniclutch, but more on that will come. And this is our race event where we are also hoping to get into Great Life. Maybe by the end of the season, we will compete on Great Life Time Attack. But we are starting with SCCA and NSA time attack. That's where we're starting. Our first event is coming on March 1st, and we are hoping that with the build, we are hoping that with the builder, the fabrication where we drop the car, hopefully we can get that ready by March 1st. And I will see you at Summit. I will see you at Summit Point, West Virginia, for our first opening season event, and hopefully we can bring the car there. I'm very confident that by that time the car will be very solid and happy. I really don't care how much we're going to push, because I just want the car to be happy, back on the road, and the rest we'll figure out later. Power-wise and everything else, we'll tune it if we find a better tuner. Thank you again for watching, and thank you for Uniclutch, Dodge, and everyone else sponsoring our build. I'll catch you on the next one, and peace out.